So in terms of crisis of faith, in terms of your search for truth, in terms of some of the dark places you've gone in your mind, what's a good answer to this question? Uh, so for Camus with Myth of Sisyphus, it was the question of suicide is what's the purpose? Like, what's a good answer to why keep going? Especially when you're struggling, especially when you're not, when you're feeling hopeless, when you're feeling like a burden in this search for truth, where you feel like you're surrounded by lies. What's a good answer to why I live?
I think.
You ever found one?
Well, the simple answer right now is to say it's very easy once you have kids to say the right answer is of course, you brought these kids into the world. So you have a responsibility that I feel deeply as a father to them to always be there for as long as I humanly can and to take care of them and protect them. It's the most innate sense in me. Just, it's wired in my animal existence. So if I take that away, right, because that's kind of cheating.
Let's put that aside because it is cheating.
It's cheating.
There's still some fundamental way in which you're alone.
Yeah. And to that, that actually has been a real struggle for me for many years. I had a real turning point early in my career where we were flying somewhere overseas and we were in a really small plane and the lights went out and like all these red lights were flashing and the plane just started to dive. Completely like scariest plane experience I've ever been in. My manager was next to me, who's my brother. He was crying and texting his wife a goodbye. That's how like crazy this moment was.
Was it real, like genuine?
Genuine,
real like this.
Like genuine engine went out, plane is going down, pilots looking like crazy in the front. And it was a really tiny jet. And like I said, my brother next to me crying, typing a text to his wife. Really, really scary. And I felt nothing. I genuinely sat there and I was like, this might actually be nice. Like I really felt like this goes down and like, oh man, life sucks and it's hard. And that sounds so ridiculous, I know, to say, because I'm in a different place now and I see my life for what it is. But at that moment I did not.
So life was primarily defined by suffering. It was a burden. And
it
this
was.
Would be a burden
felt
lifted.
I was incredibly depressed. I had been trying different medications since I was young, and I just had not found anything that was working for me. And then I was in a faith crisis, lost all my faith, started a band that just became, I wasn't ever thinking that this band, I was like, when you call your band Imagine Dragons, you're not thinking that band's going to be big, okay? It was like, I was like, this was like a side project that was fun for me. It was like art in college. I was in school and I was like, man, I hate this biology class. I'm going to write down band names. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was not, hey, put everything aside. This is my career. Let's go. Like, it happened. And I'm an introvert by nature. I'm really not an extroverted person who likes to go out and like, I like to be at home with a couple friends and have a late night conversation over good food. Like that to me is a perfect night. Read a good book, listen to a podcast, go on a walk. Those are things that I really, really enjoy. And suddenly I'm in this life where I'm like supposed to be something that I really don't want to be, except for on stage, which is a really strange thing to me, which is on stage, I feel so free and exuberant and like an extrovert. And then I come off and I just feel like shrivel back into a shell. Like music does that for me and performing on a stage does that for me.